To me, a center sample guitar like this, even the best ones, are a bit obsolete. And if it does not have a sound port and all this is totally obsolete to me. In 40 years of playing guitar, I can tell you that, well, of course, nobody tried to do the Simplicio model before AD did it here in Spain. And when I get to know this possibility of trebles, bass, and the lateral sound port of tridimensional sound, I just discovered that this thing is so much superior, but really completely superior to that, because the space, the range you have here of vibration of the top from here to here is so big, so many dynamic things happening with their harmonic inside, which in those guitars you cannot get, even in the best ones, which are also from AD. And I did have 3 or 4 of those also before, because I want to sound as best as I can sound. Right? So therefore, what is obsolete? It also depends on you really analyzing the thing, not inherited opinions. Like people say, well, I prefer traditional guitars. Translation, I have never tried any other thing. Right? So, if it is really true what you are saying, that is you, or you are not hypnotized, after 20 million repetitions you are just parroting stuff, suppose you come to that conclusion by personal experience, and because you have to prove it with facts, how is it this is better? The very fact of this, which repeats in history, is that when Simplicio created this model in 1929, people, the traditionalists, make a hellish life, they refused it, and nobody wanted it. Big mistake. Now it's $1 million one. He made only 9, of which maybe 4 are only available. And in the Boston Museum of Instruments, Harrison Foundation has another like that. Priceless works of art. Nobody sold a guitar like now in one auction. I will post the description of this video one. From before he invented this thing and how he mastered also the traditional way, in $250,000 was sold in this auction. Nobody sold Barbero or Santos, nobody, forget about the stage, forget about. It's just not on this level. Simplicio, greatest, genius, because he also such a bold man, he had the guts to challenge the status quo. And what was the tradition, empty tradition of center sample guitars? That no, this is inefficient, let's move these ports and make it 2 actually, to have a clear division of this thing. And now this plus what AG is doing with the lateral sound port, so we have 3 ports, not 2 like that. And of course the 0 fret, different, the bridge has other design, different material, different measurements, different tunings. Like, it's crazy what is the differentiation from this to that. So these things impact your playing, obviously, if you have the good luck to experience it. And for me, a traditional guitar is totally obsolete. It's obsolete. It's unidirectional. I feel it sound like this, contracted, and I don't want to sound like this. Not because someone said, not because Tomatitos still do it, not because the whole damn traditional guys who are blind parrots following, they don't know even they are following
one thing which was hypnotic command given to the I don't care about this thing. And if tradition doesn't give me one definite quality, I don't want to follow that. So for me, it's not a good argument to start, because I want to be based on my personal experience, and I don't want to sound like this.
And this is how I sound on a center sample guitar. And I don't care, it's because anyone or Paco or whoever did that before and sound good. That is not an argument for me, because I did have the critical thinking to analyze evidence and be able to question if what this is being presented is true or not, by facts. And by facts, there is, I will post the description of this video, what is this experiment of the box of resonance. And they made many of this with the piano things, this almost resonance thing. It's a very interesting thing. And in fact, Simplicio noticed a big disadvantage of the traditional soundboard. Certainly, as he did 9 of this, then it was a total failure as a business for him, because nobody wanted it. People said, what is that? This is horrible, we don't want it. Well, you know how this history repeats itself, but big mistake. And now that AD had the great idea to make them again, this is just, I think I live in paradise. And after 40 years of playing, I can only regret not having played this or have access to them before. Because everything is different. Also the fretboard, the fretboard material, the fretboard division, the fret division, how to speak of the 0 fret and the playability I get here. Like Alan Halter said, we don't want to have a guitar that you can stick a foam here in between the first fret and this and the fretboard, right? And the string and the fretboard, you can stick a foam. That's kind of actually. Right? There is in Spain this older joke that from the 6th string to the 12th fret, there are 5 minutes by car. And if there is no traffic, you have that distance there, and no Google Maps will bring you sooner to the destination. So all these things, you need to think about measurements, your habits, what is what you really need, and how you sound with one and with the other. And I have on every guitar you can imagine of every brand in my life, and I have seen, in this channel there are 400 lists of this brand I played there. I can prove all what I'm saying. And besides that, this channel started, what, 7 years ago, 7, 8 years ago? And you know how much time I have been playing? 40 years, so how many do you think I have seen? Thousands, literally. So, of course, this is very personal, and you have to be able to see what is your text, but really see it. If it's you are hypnotically controlled there by a command right given to you, because hypnosis do work, and this repetition constant. Tradition is great, tradition is great. Someone said. Inherited opinions, and then you don't know even what is you or what you heard, right? And also constant validation because of the majority consent. This is a problem Simplicio had. Like, if many people drink Coca-Cola, then that means it's healthy, right? Because millions of people drink it, so it has to be. No, that is not logic. So, if everyone plays center sample guitar, we don't care. Because it's obsolete, and it is really, but you have to see it you, and you have to be open-minded to know it. And that creates another impression in your mind and in your ear, which would eventually, if you are fortunate enough, you get used to now really feel expanded this your sound, how really you can sound on it. And then, of course, you don't want to go back to, if I am used to play with Stradivarius, I don't want to play a plastic violin after that. Right? But if I am used to plastic violin, then maybe the Stradivarius I will feel awkward playing it. Because habit is everything. Not 99%, it's 120% of you playing. What's your habit playing, practicing how you practice. which instrument you practice, what is the sound you are used to have, all these things, right? And then of course, if you care about others saying it, well then you may choose Coca-Cola, but that will be maybe not the wisest choice. Right? This is just an example. I'm just saying, because of critical thinking, you have to give value to facts and to evidence, really, and you have to question things. You cannot live on thinking, well, I guess, I think, someone said, no, this is not evidence. And that's why these people now is being appreciated a lot. Most successful guitars sold for knowers, and how knowers, collectors, and people who really is intelligent and just saw it, that this is so different. Let me see. Oh wow, this is good. This is the most. It's a big success I have seen in the 35 years I have been playing guitar professionally and otherwise of a guitar of a new model being produced, because it has all but the ideas. Of course, it was a Paco's idea. This thing. Fortunately, he died before it was completed. But you know, Paco had many avant-garde, or what do they say? It was so advanced, his thought of how it should evolve things to the future, that it's difficult to take in the present, because people was ahead all the time. That's why he's a genius. And also in this thing, right? That for instance, before guitars were only the obsolete cypress guitar, and there was no negra concept, no dark wood here, but clear wood. And then Paco took this from the classical guitar, because he noticed those guitars have more presence. So let's have this introduced. And then in the 60s, he did many experiments with whom he could do it at that time. And then the negra was introduced. So before Paco, nobody played darker wood here. So just like that, that is not the only no. That was just the seed and the beginning of evolution, which culminates in a guitar which has one type of wood on the back, rosewood on the sides, another type, like, it's just so different that it's totally different. That's the thing. But if you like the same of the same of the same of the same, or have been conditioned to like the same of the same of the same, or being closed and narrow-minded so much so that you cannot even start to begin to think that maybe I am hypnotized by these so-called traditional fields, which are empty, by the way, because I said it many times that we have to respect tradition. Translation: let's live in the past, please, and in the obsolete spider web field of past. And please feel happy to it. You have to feel as a part of an elite as well. All laughable statements, and the same with the musical creation, because music creation and the instrument you use, this is there. And in fact, that's why Paco never played his gig guitar at home. In fact, I will post the description. The first video will be that of the Emperor made thing. When he said that yes, I never played this in recordings or when I compose music, I use only that for the gig. And because this is a mediocre guitar, I like that for that job. It does the job, so I don't. But here at home, I never played those. Why? Because we had 33 furnitures of 10 guitars each. Not only AG, but many Santos, Grandes, Barbero, original, many guitars. He liked also vintage guitars, etc. And never took out to found those. And the process when you create the music, when you compose and when you create the thing, this is most important thing, not when you go to the gig. When you go to your office to work, you don't dress the same like in your marriage anniversary or some important date, right? The clothing you use there in the office is not the same, like, you know, a special day. So this is special days when you compose music, and he was composing on any other instrument except that one he played for the gig. Why? Well, I knew this much time before. Now people is apologizing with me also because I told them this before years. And I told them the same. You never asked him, actually. One day I came and remember in 1987,
to a dressing room in the concert, and then I said to Paco to put an orthograph on a traditional guitar. And then he said, "What are you doing with this guitar?" I said, "What do you mean, what are you doing? This is the same you have." And he said, "Have you asked me what is a good guitar?" And I said, "No." Then described, so don't play this thing. AG didn't exist then, in that time, what I'm telling you. So I said, no, go to a Cafe Fernandez and make a guitar, 62 millimeters like this and this measurement. So I argue things that I have a small hand, I don't have a hand like you, and said, don't forget about it, just do it. You will see how you are actually blocked because of the instrument. So, and in fact it's true. So, and I notice it even more now. But since 2 years ago, the Simplicio guitar was produced with all this marvelous advancement, with all these marvelous things which are in the present, like this Whitner pegs, for instance. Whitner is a great company. Actually, they invented the metronome itself. I mean, so this is, if you want to talk about tradition, don't talk to this guy because they invented it. This was a German company. And German company, great people, and this thing here, it brings just another dimension to the instrument, because now not only I can play this out-of-the-box guitar like that, but I can also have pegs which are more accurate than the mechanic regular machine heads. This go right and left, it doesn't get stuck or the slippery thing, it tunes perfect and it vibrates along with the whole neck because are in direct contact to the wood. So crazy things which are really most happy stuff for me. So what you also, in your own capacity, you should explore what is better for you, right? And then once you get rid of all these inherited opinions, someone said, the other said, too many people drink Coca-Cola, so it has to be nice. And all these things, and you really boil it down to what your soul asked you, then you will see, and hopefully you will notice why, because anyone who had a Simplicio, they know why now you sound like three guitars. So I want to sound as best as I can, and I got, so thanks to AG and thanks to the staff and to everyone who facilitated this marvelous project, and also because of asking me my humble feedback on these things. I'm always willing to improve stuff, and I'm also a guitar freak and I love it. I love this thing. So it's about the venue that the instrument brings you, and therefore, yes, of course, the past, let it be, is obsolete, the center sample concept altogether. So Simplicio was a genius, and the Stradivarius of Spain.